Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Shelby 85 Sports and Beer. Today we are talking about, where we left off last week. Now, if you remember last week's show, we were talking about the National Lacrosse League. More specifically, we were talking about the game between Colorado and Saskatchewan, and bam, I made my prediction saying that Colorado was in fact going to win that game, and boom, I was right on the money on that one. Colorado did end up coming out with the W, so now Colorado is actually first place in the Western League and of course Western Division, and of course Saskatchewan, bam, got defeated. I'm just kidding, but seriously though, I'm pretty pumped. Colorado is an amazing team, and it wasn't a sweep though. Actually, Colorado ended up winning by just couple points, 2 points actually. Colorado ended up getting 9, and to Saskatchewan 7, so it was 9-7 game. So let's break this down, shall we? So we see in the first quarter, Saskatchewan ended up scoring 2 points, and Colorado ended up scoring 1. So it went into the second quarter with Saskatchewan in the lead. Of course, in the second quarter, Colorado ended up scoring 2, but Saskatchewan, of course, held their ground and scored 2 points as well. So they were still in the lead at that point, Saskatchewan, but the third quarter came up, and of course, this is where Colorado shined and really took the game, because they ended up winning this quarter big time. It was Colorado ended up scoring 5 points in the third quarter, and Saskatchewan ended up scoring 1. And in the fourth quarter, Colorado scored 1, and of course Saskatchewan scored 2. So Colorado ended up coming out with the W in that game. Now, let's talk about, of course, the standings. Like I said, Colorado is now in the league, in the lead in the West. They ended up playing another game, which they won, so it puts their win record to 6 wins, and their loss records to 2, so they are now 6-2. Saskatchewan is now 3-2 instead of 3-1. So that puts them, of course, in the Western Division. Colorado is number 1 with 6 wins and 2 losses. Saskatchewan's number 2 with 3 wins, 2 losses. Now Calgary is at third place in the division with 3 wins, 4 losses. And of course, Vancouver has 2 wins with 4 losses. So that's the Western Division. Now in the East, we have first place team, New England. They are 4-2, 4 wins, 2 losses. Buffalo is right behind them with the 4-2 as well. We have Rochester, which is in third, which has 3-2, 3 wins, 2 losses. Georgia, which has 3-4. 3 wins with 4 losses, and of course, who could guess it but Toronto? Big surprise there. They are last place in the Eastern Division. Let's face it, they're in last place of the whole freaking thing. When sports are concerned, Toronto's last. No surprise. So they have 0 wins with, of course, 6 straight losses, which actually brings us to our upcoming game, which is Buffalo versus Toronto, which is on February 19th, which is Friday. Of course, Buffalo is number 2 in the league, and Toronto is, dead last in the league. Like I said, big surprise there. This is Buffalo is coming off of a W, coming off of a win against Georgia. Now, they pretty much smoked Georgia 21-14, which is a big win. That was a hometown game for Buffalo. Now Toronto is coming off, guess what? A loss. Who could have guessed that, right? They're coming off of a loss against New England, which they didn't have a sweep in. I was kind of surprised, but actually, yeah, so Toronto didn't lose it by a huge landslide, which was a rather big surprise. I kind of figured that New England would just make Toronto their bitch because, let's face it, who doesn't make Toronto their bitch in really any sport? I mean, come on. Toronto is the worst city to have a sports team ever. Like, I mean, lacrosse, okay. 0-6. I mean, you're the worst team in the history of the world. Like, come on, you know. And then take that aside. Go to hockey. That's all I have to say. You look at hockey. You know, Toronto is a horrible fucking team. Always. You know, I mean, we get so pumped, you know, when they make it into the first round of the playoffs, and we think, oh, they're gonna win the cup this year. No, they're not. It's Toronto. It's Toronto. Fuck. Even in basketball, I mean, everybody's like, yeah, no, they have a great team. They have a great team. Yeah, we're going to make it this year. No, you're not. Fuck, you're going to make it to the first round playoffs like you make it every fucking year. And then you suck. You don't fucking make it past the first round of the goddamn playoffs. Like, ever. Like, fuck. Come on. I mean, there was a sweep. Let's stop talking about lacrosse for a sec. Let's talk about basketball for a sec. Last year, I mean, they could have had it. I mean, they should have had it. Like, fuck, Washington. Fucking Washington. They beat the Toronto Raptors by a sweep. Who the fuck loses in a goddamn playoff game like that? Yeah, okay, I get it. You know, people are saying, well, you know, the Raptors are the only basketball team in the NBA. Yeah, you know, the refs are never going to let them win a game. They're not going to let them win. Or sorry, I shouldn't have said game because they do win a lot of games. They actually even broke their franchise record for the most consecutive games won this year. But, I mean, their fans are like, okay, well, you know, the refs are not going to let Toronto win and make it to a championship, and the refs are not going to let them win a championship because they're a Canadian team. Bullshit. Bullshit. You know how many refs that ref those games that are actually Canadian? Like 85% of the fucking refs in the NBA are fucking Canadian, man. And you're telling me that, oh, it's rigged, they're not... Just give me a break. It's Toronto. They suck. You suck. Just face it. Fucking look at football, man. You guys suck. So that was my rant on Toronto just sucking. Because they're involved in this game. They're going to suck. So anyway, yeah, both their last games were were both away games, actually. Sorry about that. Buffalo was an away game. And when they played against Georgia... And when Toronto played New England, it was an away game for them as well. But that's the next game on the lacrosse schedule is February 19th on Friday. I believe the kickoff time is 8:30. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong on that because I didn't actually check. Now, I did actually, again, get a chance to watch Buffalo practice. I didn't get a chance, unfortunately, again, to watch Toronto practice. I know I always try to get both teams to check out their practices, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. You know, Buffalo is a beast. I'm taking Buffalo, actually, to win the West, to be honest. Because if they win this game, they're going 5-2, 5 wins with 2 losses, and then they'll of course be put up in front of England as the number 1. But yeah, I'm thinking that they'll just all said and done end of season. I'm thinking Buffalo will take it. My predictions for actually the final championship game is actually Colorado versus Buffalo. Now see if I'm right on that one, because if I'm right, will be awesome. That will be awesome if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right, but I'll probably will be right. But anyway, yeah, so that's my prediction. Print it up. Get it done. Have a drink of beer. I know I didn't drink any beer. I drank too much on the weekend, and I don't really feel too great. But anyway, Toronto sucks at life and sports, and Buffalo's going to win it. And next week we will be talking about the NBA. So stay tuned, and boom. Thanks for watching.